Hello, this is Debbie from HomeStrung Jewelry. Welcome. I'm here to do another tutorial on the cube earrings from the Once in a Blue Moon subscription box. We're going to go over the materials that we're going to need, and then we're going to get right into the project. So, here's what the earrings looked like. Finished pair. I apologize that I'm not real good with the camera and videotaping and all of that just yet. But here's what the earring looks like. I'm going to rotate it so that you can see that this portion here forms a square or almost basically a cube sort of thing. And then I'm going to move them kind of out of the way for the rest of it. Okay, the materials that you'll need to do a set of the earrings these are the Tibetan silver stud earrings from the box, and I have already glued the 2 cubic zirconium that were with them into the 3mm tray to give it plenty of time to dry. So you'll need those studs, and you can use your preferred glue. I use one called Star Bond. I'm going to move it out of the way. I'm using FireLine for my thread. I'm using a big eye needle because I have a really hard time threading needles. Of course, sometimes it's hard to get these open, but this shows you that nice big eye right through in there. Okay. Then you're going to need 16 of the 4mm pearls that were in the box, 10 of those blue opal crystal bicones that were in the box. There's 10 of those, 16 of those, 2 of the crystal teardrops that match those blue bicones. And then you need about 52 or half a gram of a size 11 seed bead. And I'm using a galvanized silver, but any size seed bead that you would like to use to help accent your earrings would work. This is a fairly quick, easy project. The biggest problem that I had with it is I don't know how to diagram a 3-dimensional cube like what we're going to make. So the best way to show you how I made these earrings is to show you how I made them. I started by cutting about a 26 to 30 inch length of the FireLine. This is the 6-pound in the white crystal color. I'm going to thread it into my big eye needle and then come down here. Okay, so let me move pearls over those up a little bit. All right, so step 1 is going to start. You're going to start by picking up 4 of your size 11 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move them down till I have about a 2 to 3 inch, 2.5 to 3 inch tail. And then I'm going to needle around and back up through all 4 of those seed beads. See if I can get this so you can see it. Basically, we're just going to form a circle of those 4 seed beads. So I'm going to pull my thread, and I'm going to pull tight enough that those 4 seed beads come around and form a circle. And then I want to tie a knot to tie that tail in. So I'm going to tie a square knot, going left over right, and then right over left, to form a square knot. Okay, and then kind of pull those center 4 beads into more or less a diamond shape, and you'll be ready to start the next step. So after you have tied your knot and formed your circle of the 4 beads, you're going to needle through the top or the next one of those seed beads, just like this. pull the thread all the way through. So wants to catch my tail. Okay. Then what you're going to do is I'm going to set that down for a second. You're going to pick up a pearl, a seed bead, a crystal bicone, a seed bead, and a pearl. So here it is. Pearl, seed bead, crystal bicone, seed bead, pearl. And then you're going to needle back through that same seed bead that your thread, if you can see this here, we're going to go back through that same seed bead that our thread is coming out of. And you want to pull it tight. One thing about this cube is you do want to keep your stitching as tight as you can. All right, now we're going to rotate this center diamond of 4 beads until the next one is at the top. And we're going to needle through that seed bead. Pull it nice and tight. We're going to pick up a pearl, a seed bead, a crystal bicone, and a seed bead. Now we're going to needle back through. Okay, here's the one that it's coming out of. We're going to we're forming a circle that goes, let's see, I'm going to need to come down this way, that goes around this way. So we're going to needle back through this pearl and the seed bead that we're coming out of. And we're going to pull that around and pull it nice and tight. Rotate so we have the next seed bead in that center diamond at the top, and we're going to needle through it. Then we're going to pick up a pearl, a seed bead, one of the crystal bicones, a seed bead, and we're going to come up around the top and through this pearl here and through that seed bead that our thread is coming out of. We're just making a set of circles here. Pull the thread nice and tight. Rotate that center diamond of 4 beads. So we should be at the last one, the 4th one, and needle through it. Okay, you only need to have 4 pearls, and we've got all 4 of them. So we're going to needle through this pearl, this one right here, because we don't need to pick any more up. We're going to pick up a seed bead, a crystal bicone, and a seed bead, and then come around like we're making the circle and come through the pearl on the other side and through that center seed bead and pull it nice and tight. Okay, now if you pull this tight enough, what's going to happen is these 4 crystals want to kind of rotate. They want to roll over, and that's what you want. They actually lay between the pearls. And you see this pattern on this side with, doesn't help when I drop it, with the 4 pearls, and you've got that center diamond, the 4 pearls. We're going to create this same set of components on this concave side of these crystal bicones. So to do that, we're going to go through this pearl, which is the closest one to the little seed bead that we're coming out of. So go through that pearl. And then rotate your component just a little bit so that you can go through you want to go through the seed bead, the crystal, and the seed bead that are sitting here at the top. So you're going to come out through there. Now you're going to pick up a pearl, a seed bead, and a pearl. And we're going to form a circle, but this time the pearl's going to fall onto this side of your component. But come around and through those 3 beads, the seed bead, the bicone, and the little crystal seed bead again. And pull it tight. And those 2 seed beads should be falling kind of what looks like on the back side of your work here. That is what you want. Okay? So now we're just going to skip over to, we're going to rotate, we're going to skip over to this unit and go through the seed bead, the bicone, and the seed bead. Pull it through. We're going to pick up a pearl and a seed bead, and coming around here, we want to come, if you can see that, we're going to come up through this pearl in this direction, if I can find the hole, and then back through the seed bead, the bicone, and the seed bead unit that we were coming out of. And pull that tight and let all those pearls be forming onto the other side of your component. If I turn it over, here's what it would look like. Okay, turning back, we're just going to needle through the next seed bead, bicone, and seed bead. Pull it nice and tight. We're going to pick up a pearl and a seed bead, and then we're going to come around, pretend you've got a circle, and come up through this pearl, and then back through the seed bead, bicone, and seed bead. And pull that nice and tight. Okay, so you're building the same set of components on that back side that is on this front side. Okay, so you're trying to create a diamond pattern of 4 seed beads and 4 pearls. These pearls are cornered by the crystal bicones. So we're just going to rotate a little bit, skip up to that next unit of seed bead, bicone, and seed bead, needle through it. Now, if I turn it over to this back side, we have all 4 pearls on here, but we're missing one of the seed beads that we need to form that diamond pattern. So we're going to come down through this closest pearl to where our needle is, needle through it, pick up a seed bead, move over to the next pearl and needle up through it. Okay, pull that nice and tight. Then you're going to come back through that same set of seed bead, crystal bicone, seed bead. Basically, we just need to come down, reinforce that center diamond. So you come down through the pearl, and then what we're going to do is go through all 4 of these little seed beads to join them together, and they'll form that little diamond or square pattern. So there's 3 of them, and here's the 4th one. And then just to make sure that it's a complete circle, I'm going to go up through that first one again. So it's connected to that fourth one. Okay, so this is moving all over. But anyway, you can see where you've got your diamond pattern, your 4 pearls, and over here where we started, diamond pattern, 4 pearls, and then the crystals. So it does form a cube type shape. Now we're ready to add our dangle to it. To do that, we need to get down here between these two, between 2 of the pearls. So look where you're coming out. I'm coming out of this little seed bead right here. Coming out of here, I'm going to go through this pearl. I'm going to pick up a seed bead, a bicone, a seed bead. I'm going to needle down through one of my drops from the small end to the large end and pick up one more seed bead. I'm going to move all these beads up next to my cube. So this is what we have. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around that bottom seed bead, not through it. Come back up through the teardrop, the seed bead, the bicone, and that seed bead. Now I want to pull it tight enough that it comes right up next to that pearl that we were coming out of. But not so tight that it destroys the swinging of the dangle. You want your dangle to be able to swing and move freely. So this is the pearl that I came out of to start my drop. I want to come to the same pearl that's on the opposite side and needle up through it. That's going to orient that dangle directly between the 2 pearls, which is where you want it. And then, like I said, you want to make sure it can swing freely. All right, so now we need to go up and join into our ear wire. And to do that, I'm coming out of this pearl. I'm going to go up through the closest of that diamond pattern of the 4 seed beads. Move over to the next seed bead and go through it. Shouldn't be that tight of a fit. Here we go. And then up through this pearl. Okay. So this is kind of what it looks like. Now to attach to one of the ear wires, we're going to pick up 3 seed beads. I'm going to lay this down so hopefully you can see a little better. Pick up my ear wire, go through the loop, pulling it all the way down, pick up 3 more seed beads. 3. And then I want to find the corresponding pearl on the opposite side. So here was the thread coming out of the pearl on this side. I want to come down through the corresponding pearl that's just on the opposite side and pull that nice and tight, so that we have now attached the ear wire to the cube and the earring. Now this needs to be reinforced, and the easiest way to do that is to come through one of the little diamond seed beads. So I've come through the seed, one of the center 4 seed beads. Now I'm going to go just like right down in the middle of all 4 of those seed beads, through my cube and out through the middle of the ones on the opposite side. Pull it nice and tight. Come up through the seed bead. I think I'll come through this one. We're going to come up through the pearl. Through the 3 seed beads. Through the earring stud. Through the next 3 seed beads on the back. And down through that pearl again. That's our tail. And other than finishing off our ends, we are done. So, whatever method you prefer for finishing off your ends, you could do it here. And then I can go ahead and trim that end off. I'm going to trim my tail off. And we have the first earring done. And then all you have to do is stop and rewind this video a little bit and replay it to make your second earring. So I apologize again. I'm used to working in a live classroom where people can give me feedback, ask me questions if they don't understand something I'm explaining. I can show them a little bit better what it is that they need to do. I'm new to the video taping tutorials, but I'm going to hang in here until I get it right. I would appreciate if you enjoyed this tutorial to give it a thumbs up. So I appreciate your being with me. I appreciate everything you guys do with the likes and the subscribes and the comments. And I hope to see you again in my next tutorial. Thank you.